Vegas has lost two major trade shows, well-known ones too, in the last week, with the National Association of Broadcasters as well as the AVN Awards going out of the way to not be in Vegas. Yeah, so we're going to talk about that today and talk about the possible impact, what this might mean. It might mean nothing at all, but it has a trickle-down effect, and it makes other big businesses and big conventions and big shows afraid of bringing their event to Vegas. How's it going, guys? My name is Steven. I'm not leaving Las Vegas, but I did leave Las Vegas. That's the USS Midway behind me, and I'm down here in San Diego, California, with the fish market behind me and a tribute to Bob Hope going off. We're going to talk about this today because it's a serious thing. If you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications so you guys know when I do videos just like this. And also leave us a comment below where you scheduled to come out here for the National Association of Broadcasters, or where you coming in for the AVN Awards and Convention. And if you don't know what that is, we'll get to that in just a second. Don't Google it if you have kids around. As always, check out our channel sponsor. That's a good thing to do. It's P9 Magazine. They're over at Instagram. You guys can see them on the overlay on the screen. We're doing this bare bones. There won't be credits on this one, but I love everybody who's on Patreon. And I love everybody who's in the channel memberships. You guys support the channel, and we make it all possible to make videos like this. And so our trip here was actually sponsored by P9 Magazine. They buy the billboard over at Resorts World. They're buying it again October 8th, so check them out. Guys will like them for the pretty ladies. Ladies will like them for the ladies' apparel and stuff. And they're nice to us. All right, National Association of Broadcasters. That's a major show. It was supposed to be happening in October here in Vegas. Now it's not happening at all. This is a statue to the famous Kiss seen around the world after World War II ended. Pretty cool out here. And so this show normally, like in 2019 when it went off, this would attract up to 100,000 people, I think 91,000 and change. And, you know, but 25% of those were international visitors. This was dealing with broadcasts, broadcasting cameras, streaming technologies, basically anything that the broadcasting world, radio would come out here. And it was a big show. Now let's say they did have it, 91,000, we'll round it up to 100 because I'm lousy at math, and then you have 75,000 or so people. That would have been North American or, you know, not international coming for the show. That's a big one to lose. The second one we're losing is the AVN show. That stands for, I think, Adult Video News, or Adult Video Network. It's adult rated content, and they would come out here. They skipped it last year for obvious reasons. That's one of the reasons why the Virgin Hotel, because the show is usually actually held at the Hard Rock for years, that's one of the reasons they delayed their opening. There was no AVN show, there was no kickstart to their business. Now it's back to being canceled again. It was reported on Twitter. So NAB pulled out, now AVN pulls out. The thing about this is the question. We have to ask it. What's going to be next to fall? Will there be anything next to fall? Oh, I can hear you now. Here's Dr. Doom coming along, being all doomy. Dr. Doom, Steve. Not really, no. These are serious considerations. It's the same reason why they implemented face masks in Nevada over any county with a certain threshold. So almost the whole entire state's fine, but of course Clark County. If you guys do need a face mask, make sure you do get one from vegasfacemask.com, no S at the end. We're wearing our Raiders mask today in Southern California just to confuse people. They don't have a team down here, the Chargers. I wonder how long it'll take before the Chargers do come back, or some other team comes back. So vegasfacemask.com, no S at the end. My wife makes them. You can support the channel there too. But that's why they implemented mask mandates in, Las Vegas, because they said we have to stem the bleed. We have to show these businesses that, yeah, we care about health and safety. That's got to be the only reason. This ship is so huge. It's massive. And I don't even know if they're doing tours of it right now, but the USS Midway, absolute engineering marvel. And I think it's amazing. So what else happens? I mean, we have the CES show, Consumer Electronics Show, coming up. That could go away because it only takes a couple of anchor exhibitors to disappear out of this thing. The reason why NAB canceled it, we talked about it a few weeks ago on the channel on a live stream. Sony was not going to appear at the NAB show and Canon wasn't going to appear. Let's assume that Microsoft decides that they're not going to be at the CES show. If Microsoft doesn't show up, or if Cisco decides to pull the plug, or IBM is not going to be there, this could be a pretty common occurrence. They're doing this because they say that they have to make sure that we, keep people safe, and Delta variants and all these kinds of things that are going on all around us. But at the same time, they're not canceling and going to another city. And that's the important part, isn't it? Like, they're not saying, okay, we're not doing the NAB show in Vegas, but we're gonna have the show in Dallas, Texas, or, you know, in somewhere else. Like, they could bring the show down to Orlando. That's a huge convention city with lots of facilities, and they want the business just as much. So that's a positive to look at in this situation. If it was canceled to move somewhere else, then we have a bigger problem on our hands. But the real question is, what is the LVCVA doing about it? That's the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Like, what are they doing to try to make sure that these companies are comfortable holding their events here? You have to assume that they're doing something, right? You know, they're not just bloviating. Meanwhile, unfortunately for us, you know, we got Governor Sisolak, who's just posting positive stuff about vaccination rates and keeping people safe. But as more and more people get vaccinated and this thing spirals out of control, when do we get to a point where we realize that we simply can't stop living our life because of COVID and Delta and whatever variant's going to come next? I'm not one of the people that will tell you that it doesn't exist, but I am one of the people that will tell you that we have to live life within reason. We can't stop doing things. That's not the way things work. And this is something that's always going to be a part of our lives, I feel, going forward. So at the end of the day, towns like San Diego, and this is the second video I'm going to be doing, there's no mask mandate here, you know? If you're vaccinated, you can walk into any building without wearing a mask, and they haven't asked for proof of vaccination anywhere we've ever been. And people are enjoying their life, and my worry is that if this continues to be a thing, and these businesses that look at Vegas as a place with lots of hotel rooms and not a place with slot machines, casinos, and shows, they might decide that enough's enough and we have to go somewhere else. And it's really hard to undo that when it does happen. If it does happen, then it could be a whole nother ball game being played. We could definitely win back anything that we lost. I completely believe in it. I love the city, I love Las Vegas, and I want to see it succeed, but this is a big blow to the city to lose these two shows. Trickle-down effect, that's what happens. Look, when there's no people here at certain times of the year, it's because of the way that people take vacations and travel around the world. It's global, right? People generally stop vacationing in September because they go to new jobs. They go to and they move their family around. They have to settle into new patterns, and the kids are back in school. That's when these conventions do come back into town. Okay, SEMA show, National Association of Broadcasters, the NFR. That's what brings the people here when there's not that many people here to start with. We can't start losing these things, and let's hope that these are the only two that we do lose. And I will have faith that we could definitely win them back. But trickle down means that it helps out the bartender. It helps out the person who does service on the room, the people that work on tips. It helps people out not getting furloughed and laid off. And without these happening, it's going to be a tough one. But maybe there'll be some more events. Maybe there'll be some more conventions that come in. The resilience of the town is amazing, and I think it'll come back, and I think it'll be just fine in the end. But that's my theory on it. You tell me what you think in the comments below. These are news items and some opinion mixed in. I'm not Dr. Doom on the whole thing. I mean, look, you can come out to San Diego and you can drive and drive and drive some more. And that's what we did this weekend. And I'm not complaining, but when you come to Vegas, you can walk out of your hotel room, walk 10 minutes and see something amazing, and walk another 10 minutes and see something else amazing. And then, you know, decide if you really want to go for it, get on a helicopter and see the Grand Canyon. There's a lot of things to do in Vegas that are a major draw, and a lot of redeeming characteristics that are going to mean it's always a global iconic place for people to come, to relax, to get all their services within a few minutes of one another. And that's what it is. Yeah, so that's my video today, and that's me, and I'm sticking to it. I hate to break the bad news because people always crap on me and call me Dr. Doom, and that's not what this is. This is just the facts of these two shows canceling, the possibilities of what might happen next, and the effects it's going to have in the short term, mind you, on the city. But I'm curious your comments below. Once again, thanks to our channel sponsor, P9 Magazine. You know, they actually sponsored this trip out here because they have us going on billboards in LA, and it's been a real whirlwind, amazing experience and adventure, and we do appreciate them. Thanks to my wife from VegasFaceMask.com, makes the best 2 masks you'll ever need. And thanks to you for watching. You've been my rock over the last year and a half, I know that much. Now's the time of the video where we say 3, 2, 1, click, get close to the camera. Hopefully you guys like this view. We're gonna say 3, 2, 1, click. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, and click!